What's up guys, welcome to my complimentary video to the Infernity deck profile I just uploaded earlier. This will be the test hand video, where I will try out some test hands, obviously. And I might do 4 or 5, about, because they can take very long with Infernity. Because first, the combo takes like 10 minutes almost. And then of course, thinking about what you're doing, shuffling between the combos. I might cut out the shuffling. But yeah, I'll show you what this deck can do. And how you can do it. If, of course, I don't forget my combos mid-combo. And during the combos I might try some stuff which I haven't tried yet. I'd not go for the safe play, which I usually do. Like for example, use Dugaras' effect to draw 2. When special summoning would be the safer option, just to see what could happen. But I won't do it every time, like, the point is to show you what the deck can do and how you should use your hands, usually. With this hand, what you want to do first is, of course, use Fossil Dig to search Gigasaurus. Then you could use Mothman's effect, but I prefer setting the barrier, setting the 0 max, and then going for normal summon Wildcat and special summoning Danger Mothman. Special summoning Gigasaurus, sorry. And then you could even already, since you have a revival spell in 0 max, you do not need to do a certain combo involving Infernity Wildcat. And you can just go for Necrosulky Fibrex and summon out Infernity's level 1 tuner, which is Infernity Avenger. Then you can go for your Linkross and special summon 2 tokens, which will immediately be used for a synchro summon with Infernity Avenger into, well, obviously this is still this meta, for Martial Metal Marcher. Martial Metal Marcher will target Infernity Wildcat, sorry. Then we will go into Cherubini. Cherubini will then send Fiendish Rhino Warrior, as usual, of course. Then send Fiendish Rhino Warrior, send Archfiend Ares, and then search, with the effect of Ares of course, Infernity Archfiend. At this point we have one problem. We will have to be able to special summon the Archfiend, or else we will not have the combo. And we'll use the effect of Danger Mothman. We'll say even uneven. And roll a 4, meaning even. Discard the Mothman, which lets us draw a card and discard a card. Well, let's discard the Archfiend. Then use the Chinoko's effect, special summon it. And this could actually mean that our combo is already over. Unless we could try to use 0 max to summon back the Avenger. Then go for Saryuja for 4. Meaning, if we draw any revival spell or necromancer, we have combo. And there are still 11 in the deck. And we didn't. He drew Mirage though. And we have 2 Infernity monsters in our graveyard. So we can use the effect of Saryuja, summoning the Mirage, use Mirage's effect, targeting the Archfiend and the Wildcat, and summoning both back. Then we use Archfiend's effect to add the Patriarch We'll use the Patriarch and special summon it, overlaying the Archfiend and the Patriarch into number 60 Dugaris, and detach to use the skip main phase effect. Then we'll use Archfiend and search. We could actually now search the Necromancer. We would lose hard to Nibiru at this point though, which is a problem. But that hand was not good enough to not lose to Nibiru. That's the problem. I will make Saryuja. Shuffle the deck again before we draw. And we drew Monster Reborn. So we're gonna keep the Monster Reborn and the Necromancer. Then use Saryuja's effect again. Set the Monster Reborn. Use Necromancer. Summon the Archfiend. Use Archfiend's effect to search Infernity Launcher. And set it. Then we can go into Barricade Borg Blocker to get them back into the graveyard. And use Launcher to then summon Necromancer, Archfiend. Use Archfiend's effect to search Infernity Paranoia and set it. Then we can use Necromancer's effect to summon back the Avenger. Use the Archfiend, the Necromancer. Wait. First, use Paranoia, tributing the Necromancer. And summon the Conjurer from your deck. Now we can go into our first 100 Dice Dragon. And we'll use 100 Dice Dragon to banish Infernity Mirage. And then use 100 Dice Dragon's effect, which is copied from Mirage, to summon back the Archfiend and the Necromancer. And then we can use Archfiend's effect again, like we're used to. And search the second Infinity Barrier and set it. Then we'll use Necromancer's effect to summon back any level 3 Infernity monster. In this case, Wildcat. And overlay the 2 into our Olivier. And detach the Wildcat, the Necromancer, excuse me, to summon back the Mirage. At this point, we can go into an Appaloosa with 4 materials. Then, of course, classic play, effect of Mirage, summon Archfiend, summon Necromancer, summon Avenger, effect Archfiend, search our third barrier. And this is full combo. Since no, it's not full combo. Since we won't have the Archfiend and the Conjurer on the field. We'll have Borrowed Savage with Saryuja equipped. Then we'll flip the Monster Reborn and summon back the Necromancer. Use Necromancer's effect to summon back the Avenger. Use the 2 for a synchro summon of Herald of the Arclight. And then we'll use Infernity Conjurer's effect to summon it back. This is almost our most ideal board. The most ideal board is with Archfiend also left on the field. But this is also very, very good. And will allow us to OTK next turn with 4,400 attack, 1,200 attack, and 2400. It might be an OTK, usually it is. If not, we still have barriers left. We still have plays left during main phase 2. What will be top deck? Well, yeah. So that first test hand was successful, but there's rarely a test hand with this deck that is not successful. in getting the combo, since you have so many ways to access Archfiend Necromancer or Archfiend in general, and almost any hand gives you combo. The main problem is getting your cards out of your hand. If you draw 2 normal summons, you can have a problem. If you draw Stygian Street Patrol and Tour Guide from the Underworld, you could have a problem. But that happens quite rarely. And if you draw Stygian Street Patrol, it's a one-off. The chances are pretty high that you also draw Void Apocalypse or Allure of Darkness anyway. So, this build makes it less devastating to draw him. Next test hands. Double Allure, Jackalope. Double Allure, Tour Guide, Zero Max and Jackalope. This is already full combo. But let's see what the Allure can help us with. We draw 2. Well, we'll banish the Jackalope. Now we can use Foolish Burial. Just for funsies. We'll send Archfiend Eris and search the Infernity Archfiend. Then we could normal summon Tour Guide. Basic stuff. Normal summon Tour Guide, special summon Necromancer. Use them both to go into Cherubini. Use Cherubini's effects, since we already have Archfiend in hand. We'll send Fiendish Rhino Warrior to then send Stygian Street Patrol. We could also send Conjurer. That's all on you. However you want to do it. Now optimal would be using the Mothman, discarding the Archfiend, or using the Mothman discarding itself. Pair, unpair, even, uneven. And we discard the Mothman. We just shuffle real quick. Since we sent the Stygian Street Patrol, it's not that big of a deal. And this is definitely not a big deal anymore. We'll special summon the Patriarch. Use Zero Max to summon back our Necromancer. Use Necromancer to summon back the Archfiend. Use Archfiend's effect to search Infernity Launcher. Now we could just go into with Patriarch and Necromancer, Archfiend. Could already go into number 60, Dugaris. Use Dugaris' effect to summon back the Archfiend. And use Archfiend's effect, of course, to search. You know what? We could go for the first barrier already. Then we can go for a Big Appaloosa for 4. And now flip over our Infernity Launcher. Use it. Summon back Archfiend and Necromancer. Use Archfiend's effects. Search Paranoia. And then we can use Necromancer's effect to summon back Patriarch. And then use Paranoia to tribute the Necromancer. And summon out, not another Necromancer, the Infernity Wildcat. Which allows us to go into Needle Fiber. Needle Fiber will then, as usual, summon out our Avenger. Then, with Needle Fiber, we'll go into our Link Cross for 2 tokens, which we'll immediately use with Avenger to go into Martial Metal Marcher. Marcher's effect is going to activate, targeting the Infernity Wildcat. Now, this is one of the plays during this combo that is quite interesting. You use Wildcat's effect to banish the Necromancer as cost. Its effect is negated, so its effect is so its level is unchanged, which allows us to overlay both of them into Livia, then using Livia to summon back our Necromancer. Using this Necromancer, we summon back the Infernity Archfiend, and then trigger Archfiend's effect to get our first Infernity Mirage. Now, we want to link off the Livia because we're gonna make a second one. And of course the Necromancer and the Archfiend as well, because you want to get them off the field. Whether you leave the Link Cross or the PHRA doesn't matter. Now we'll draw 4 off of Saryuja's effect. What did we draw? Nothing too special. We'll just get the Emergency Teleport, because it's an ultimate rare, and we love those. Now we'll just special summon the Mirage, activate the Emergency Teleport to summon out our Psychic Wielder. And then we'll use Mirage, since we have no cards left in hand, to summon Infernity Necromancer and Infernity Avenger. Are we going to summon Avenger? We have used Wildcats. We might have screwed ourselves over here. No, we haven't. We're just not gonna get the effect of Necromancer. But that's not too bad. Usually I don't like to use the effect of Surge to draw if I am already doing the full combo, but I'll just do it for the video's sake. Yeah, so we used 100 Dice Dragon's effect to copy the effect of Mirage by banishing it. Then we'll summon back Necromancer with 100 Dice effects, and of course Archfiend. We'll use Archfiend to search the second barrier, since we have one already. Then we'll use Necromancer to summon back any Infernity, really. Let's just summon back the Avenger. Now, Necromancer and Wielder will make Livia. Livia detaches to summon Mirage. Now, we will go into our second Saryuja, which Saryuja's mainly good for making space. Now, at this point, I wouldn't really use the effect, but I'll do it for the sake of the video, like I said before. Now, this is not a bad grip, but, well, we could get... No, we don't have a level 3. Let's just get the Wildcat. Use a lure. See what we'll draw. Well, nice. Quite nice. I'll just banish the Wildcats. Use Saryuja's effect to summon the Mirage. Set Monster Reborn. Use one of the 2 Mirages to summon Archfiend, Necromancer. Use Archfiend's effect to summon our third and last barrier. Setting it, of course, immediately. or else our combo would be dead, clearly. Now we have 3 barriers. We'll use Necromancer's effect, summoning the Avenger. Using those 3, we go into Borrowed Savage, as usual. And we'll equip the highest attack and highest link stat monster, Sayuja. Now we can use Mirage, summon back the Necromancer and the Avenger and the Archfiend. Then we'll use these 2 to go into Herald of the Arclight. No effect Archfiend because we have nothing left to search. I mean, we still have stuff to search, but I'd rather keep the Monster Reborn for next turn or something. And then, last but not least, we forgot. Oh, nice. I forgot that I sent Season 3 Patrol. I'll use Archfiend's effect to search. Not this one. The other level 3. The Infernity Conjurer. Which Stygian Street Patrol will allow me to special summon from my hand. Now this is the optimal board of this deck. Triple Barrier, Savage Dragon with 4 counters, Palooza with 4 counters, and the Herald of the Arclight. It's pretty optimal. Now let's discuss the weaknesses of this deck a bit, which are big hand traps, or very well placed hand traps. Like, let's say this turn, this test hand, our opponent knows perfectly how to play against Infernity, and they have an Ibiru, or a Gamma. Let's say we'll look at the hand and we'll see what's more devastating at that moment. Or we'll do the combo and I'll say at what point what would hurt the most. Now, this is not a bad hand. We'll use Allure. Nobody ashes Allure. We draw and we'll banish Infernity Mirage, because it doesn't do much for this hand. We can set the Paranoia. Special summon Gilasaurus. Use Tsuchinoko's effect, because no matter what we'll get level 3 on the field. Let's say 2, 4, 6. 2. This one. And we discard the Patriarch, so we get another draw even. Okay. Kind of insane. Nice. Sets. Now we could use Paranoia, tributing Tsuchinoko, to summon out the Infernity Necromancer. And this was our 3rd summon. Now this is our 5th summon. 4th summon. At which point we do not really care about what they'll do. We'll use Rhino and Necromancer for Cherubini, and use Rhino's effect. This is where Gamma would really hurt. Gamma on this Rhino Warrior, and we would have to use our launcher to summon back the Necromancer and the Patriarch and hope for the best. We could go for some plays, of course. We could summon the Patriarch, summon the Necromancer, overlay Gilasaurus and Necromancer into Livier to summon back the Mirage to go into some more plays. But we don't want to do that. We want to play Yu-Gi-Oh! So Yeah, let's say they'll gamma this Rhino Warrior. We'll see what happens. We could use Cherubini's effect to then summon Wildcat. To send Wildcat. Which in turn allows us to use Launcher. To send Launcher, targeting any two, including Necromancer. Necromancer and Wildcat. And Necromancer will summon back the Patriarch. Now we can use Necromancer and Gilasaurus to overlay into Liviar the Sea Dragon. Liviar detaches the Necromancer to summon back our Mirage. Now Wildcat and this could get a bit awkward. There's not that much space on the field, that's the problem right now. Let's just use Liviar and Wildcat to go into Crystron Needlefiber. And Needlefiber, obviously, as always, summons out the Infernity Avenger. And now we could at least get Appaloosa with this Borrowed Savage Dragon, which is already quite nice, but not exactly what we want. We can now try and make space for the tokens. Could link away these two, go into Barricade Borg, then use Barricade Borg for Link Cross. Summon double tokens. Then use Avenger and the two tokens to go again into Martial Metal Marcher. Marcher is clearly again going to Wildcat, where we are not going to use the normal combo which we would use usually. We're just going to Saryuja for 4. And if we draw Archfiend, we hit the jackpot. So we'll draw 4 cards. We didn't draw Archfiend directly, but we have Foolish Burial, which either allows us to search the Archfiend or send the Archfiend. And I feel like searching the Archfiend. Even though it doesn't make that big of a difference, we'll send the Archfiend Ares and search the Infernity Archfiend, which then allows us to use Saryuja's effect, summoning the Archfiend. And we can search a barrier and set it. Then we can use Mirage's effect to then summon the Avenger and the Necromancer. We can then use Necromancer's effect to summon out the Wildcats and use these 3. Oh, even better. We're going to use Wildcat's effect to banish the Patriarch, to use these 2 to go into 100 Dice Dragon, use 100 Dice Dragon's effect to banish Mirage, and then, since we haven't used the Necromancer yet, I think, or have we? No, wait, I'm dumb. We have. Ignore me. Going to use these 2, going to Herald of the Arclight, and then use 100 Dice Dragon, and summon the Archfiend and the Necromancer. Then use Archfiend's effect to search second barrier. Use Necromancer, summon Wildcat, overlay Necromancer and Wildcat, summon Livier, Livier detach, Necromancer, Necromancer summon Mirage, Mirage is going to summon Necromancer and the Avenger. We can use these four and go into Appaloosa. Use the Necromancer. Summoning back the Archfiend. Use Archfiend's effects. And search our last barrier. Now this hand was less good, because I could have sent the Archfiend to grave, but I just felt like searching him. Of course, the board could have been better if I had just sent the Archfiend and used Necromancer to summon the Archfiend. But the only difference is that we don't have the OTK next turn. Or have we used... No, we haven't used Dugaris the Timeless. Because we didn't use we didn't search Patriarch with Archfiend. So we actually haven't used Dugaris' effect. Meaning, this is a pretty good board. Off of getting Gamad on a pretty crucial point. And Finnish Runner Warrior is a card they really like to hand trap. And Gamma is one of the best hand traps in the format at the moment. Bar floodgate hand traps, let's call them. Like Droll or Lancia, which just ban you from using a game mechanic. Or banning you from using something your deck likes to do. Now this was our third test hand. I'll do one more and then I'll end the video. Thanks to everyone who's still with me on this. I know my voice sounds very boring, that's why I put some music in the background. Mainly Kyosuke Kiryu's theme, Kellen Kessler. And I'll start the last test hand. Which starts off pretty bad. But could end up being okay. So we drew 2 cards we usually don't want to draw by themselves like this. But we can surely... No, we can work around this. We'll use Wildcat to discard Wildcat to summon Wildcat. Nice sentence there. Summon the Psychic Tracker. Then we'll go into... yeah. No. Prefer normal summoning Stygian Street Patrol first. And then go into Christian Needlefiber. Use, of course, Needlefiber's effect as always. To then summon Infernity Avenger. And use Needlefiber to go into Linkross. Sadly, that's a combo we don't have to use, but it's just too good not to use it. 2 tokens. Use both tokens and the Avenger. To go into Martial Metal Marcher. And summon out our Wildcat. Now we can go for Tracker and Marcher. With Tracker and Marcher into Cherubini, Ebon Angel of the Burning Abyss. And This might be full combo. No, not yet. At the moment we only have Archfiend access or Necromancer access, not both yet. But we'll see. For now I'll send, with Cherubini's effect of course, I'll send the Fiendish Rhino warrior. And I'll decide whether I want to send... No, I'll send the Archfiend. This hand wouldn't have played through any hand traps, of course. Now we'll banish the Stygian Street Patrol and summon our Mirage. And we can actually use Mirage's effect to tribute it and summon back the Archfiend. And another Wildcat. Archfiend's effect triggers and lets us now search the Infernity Necromancer. Which in return allows us to go into this. Oh, we could actually try something here. Could overlay these two and go into a Levier and summoning back our Stygian Street Patrol. Then using these four, we'll actually go into Appaloosa. So we don't need to make a Saryuja. We'll banish the Street Patrol to summon our Necromancer, and we'll use Necromancer's effect to summon back the Archfiend, who then in return searches the Patriarch, summon him, overlay Patriarch and Archfiend to go into Dugaris, using them its effect to skip the main phase and summon back the Archfiend. Now, this Archfiend allows us to get Mirage again. Now we can go... I mean, we have the combo anyway. But let's just go into a Saryuja with 4 materials and draw 4 cards. After I've shuffled again, of course. These are our 4 cards. Not that good. We'll just take the barrier. Then we'll set the barrier. Use Saryuja to summon Mirage. Use Mirage. Classics. Summon Necromancer. Archfiend. Use Archfiend to search the Paranoia. Since we want to get the let's see, we haven't even used launcher yet, which is nice. The Paranoia. Then use Necromancer's effect, summoning the Avenger. And now we use Paranoia, tributing a Dark Monster, which Necromancer of course is, in order to summon the Conjurer. Now we'll make our boss monster to use its effect, banishing Infinity Mirage as cost, copy the effect, and use it to summon back out our Wonder Archfiend and Necromancer. Archfiend's effect triggers and allows us to get our launcher, which will just activate, and Necromancer gets us another Avenger. Now let's go into another Infernity Houndadas Dragon. Since we used 1 Mirage at the very beginning of the combo, we'll use Houndadas to banish that one, tribute him to use his effect, of course. Summon back the Archfiend and the Necromancer. Then Archfiend triggers. Again. Search our barrier. Necromancer. Will get our Wildcat. We'll overlay the two into the second Levier and detach the Necromancer to summon back one of the Mirages. Then we'll link the Archfiend and Levier away into Barricade Board Blocker and use Mirage's effect to summon back out our Archfiend and our Necromancer. Archfiend's effect searches our third and last barrier and we'll set it. And the Necromancer gets us the Avenger, Archfiend, Necromancer, Avenger, level 8 into Borrowed Savage Dragon. Savage Dragon equips Chris Run Hunky Firebrax. Haven't used the second Saryuja, we could have, but didn't need to, so we won't. Then Launcher into Archfiend, Necromancer. Archfiend could search something, actually. What are we gonna search? Another Paranoia maybe for next turn? Yeah. Another Paranoia for next turn. We'll set it. Or if we're really cheeky, which we aren't of course, we would use Archfiend and get another Necromancer. Well, yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. That's a cool play that I just want to do now. We'll get the other Necromancer. Use Archfiend, Blocker and Saryuja to go into our second Saryuja. To use Saryuja's effect and summon the second Necromancer out. This Necromancer hasn't used its effect yet. So we'll summon the Avenger and synchro them off into Herald of the Arclight. Then use the second Necromancer to summon out the Archfiend. And now we'll get the Infernity Paranoia as our last search. And we ended on basically the optimal board again. 2 Infernity monsters in attack position, no matter whether it's Archfiend and Conjurer or Archfiend and Necromancer, because we have protection in our graveyard anyway. We have the Patriarch to protect from destruction by banishing him. We have the Avenger, which special summons itself from the graveyard if something is disrupted by battle and gains its level. And yeah, next turn we skip our main phase. Let's say we used all 3 of our barriers. Then we'll draw for turn. This is their point where they can activate some form of hand trap, if they, or any trap if they use anything. We'll just negate it with Borrowed Savage. Now, what we can also do is basically nothing with this, but do we really need to? Turn this to defense, Herald into attack position, and well, we could do this, use Paranoia, tribute the Necromancer, and summon out a Wildcat just to have more attack points. And if we really want to, or if we don't kill for some reason, which shouldn't be the case, we can use the other Infernity Paranoia in the graveyard to take back any Infernity monster. Like Mirage, for example. If they were to do something to our board, we would just normal summon the Mirage in that case. If we hadn't drawn this, of course. We would normal summon the Mirage, get back Necromancer, get back Archfiend, summon back something else. We have no extra deck left, but still. We'd have Archfiend, Conjurer on field. That's the main thing, like, if our board is broken, we have basically lost because there's no grind game in Infernity almost, nowadays. But this is a board that is almost impossible to get over. They would have to have, like, Super Poly, normal summon Dango Saka, Dark Ruler no more, something like that. That's all they could do. Basically nothing else. And this is it for my test hand video. Testing this deck. And I'm quite happy with how it turned out. I hope you enjoyed this video as well. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed making these combos, making them up spontaneously. And if you enjoyed it, leave a like, maybe even subscribe, leave a comment. If I misplayed, tell me. I'm not sure. There might have been some illegal play, but I don't think so. And if you have any suggestions for my channel, any content you'd like to see, just leave a comment, tell me. And I will see you next time. Bye bye.